What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ance back again here today. A little bit of a different video we got coming your way. I've had a lot of people be asking me who my favorite players are in MLB The Show 21, who I'm using, who I'm rocking on my squad. We decided to take that to the next level. We're going to be breaking down tier lists for all the positions in MLB The Show 21. Shout out to my man Scan for creating these tier lists with all the positions and keeping them updated as well. We're going to be working through these. And if y'all like this video, y'all want to see more tier lists here on the channel, more insight into how I'm rocking, show some love on this video, leave a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Y'all show the love and support on this video. We're definitely going to pump out some more if I know that this is something y'all are wanting to see. Today, we're going to be starting with outfielders. So all our outfielders in the game, primary positioned outfielders. Let's dive into it. Let's start breaking them down. So we got the tier list ready to go now. One thing, we're not going to be ranking every single player because obviously we have a lot of outfielders in the show and that would take a while. And honestly, the rank of Honus Wagner 90 overall rookie card doesn't really have any relevancy. That's not what y'all want to see. We want to see where these top end guys rank, right? Where our 99 slot in at, where our 95 slot in at. So for the most part, we're going to be doing higher overall guys with a couple other people that I've cherry picked here and there that I think deserve a discussion about within this ranking tier list. So starting out here, number one out the gate, Dwight Evans. He's got really good defense, gold glove card. And honestly, for a gold glove card, he has good hitting as well. Dwight, though, not the best overall. Not a big fan of him. I don't know if I'm putting him in F, but I think we're going to start Dwight out in E tier. Obviously, we want one of those nice little bell curves. Majority of players probably going to end up here in the C tier, but we'll see as we keep going on. Next one, Esteban Florial. He's not bad. He does lack the defense. He's definitely better than Dwight Evans. I'm going to put him up here in the D tier. He may end up in the C tier as well. We may move some people around as we get deeper into it. Next one, we're looking at Connor Joe. Actually, really solid. Really solid hitting stats across the board. And he has good defense, 82. He's going to slot up into the C tier. I'm definitely taking him over either of those cards that we've talked about so far. Same with this Willie Mays. Willie Mays, he's going to come in here in the C tier. He's not incredible, but he's not bad either. And he has some good defense. And he has some speed a little bit to go along with him as well. Willie Mays, definitely looking forward to his 99. But for now, this 94, it's not absolutely terrible. Next guy, we're looking at Tommy Pham. He's going to be a C tier guy too. I like Tommy Pham, and he has some speed, which helps him out above some of these other ones. He's going to hold down the C tier for us. Next one here, Harold Baines. I don't dislike Harold Baines. I really enjoy his swing, but he doesn't have defense. And I do need some defense if you're going to be rocking in my outfield. So because of that, he's going to slot down here in the D. And Jason Bay is going to come along with him in the D. Jason Bay's fine. Honestly, you know what? We're going to move Jason Bay up into the C tier. He does have a little bit better defense, and he does hit pretty well with some good speed. We'll throw him in here, middle of the C tier. Now, this next one, Byron Buxton, the player of the month, Byron Lightning Buxton. We like to call him Byron Bonds around these parts, or Barry Buxton, whatever you want to go with. I almost want to throw him in the S tier. I don't know if he's S tier at this point in the year. Obviously, you know, waited to the point of the year we're at. Obviously, when he came out, clear S tier. We're going to slot him in the A for now, and then we'll see where he ends up. We're going to start A with Buxton because I do love him. He is incredible. He may end up being in the S, but we'll see. Cliff Lloyd, another guy, can hit well, doesn't have much defense. So for me, that's going to be a D tier move. Now, my boy Joey Gallo, my guy, Texas Rangers fan, not biased at all. He's going to be a C tier player. He's a C tier outfielder. Joey Gallo is not biased in the slightest. Thank you very much. Now, Ricky Henderson, he lacks the power for me. He's got the contact, the speed, the defense. He does like the power for me. I need some power hitters. So I'm sorry, Ricky. I can't wait to see your 99, but this 95 is going to stay here into the D tier. Now, this Reggie Jackson, I love Reggie Jackson's swings. Again, another guy I'm probably looking forward to is 99, but the lack of defense, I got to have some more defense on my players. So Reggie, he's going to be D tier as well. And maybe I'm a little bit harsh on some of these guys. We'll see. We'll see how our alignment comes out towards the end of it. Now, Mickey Mantle, I do enjoy Mickey Mantle. Does have some rough splits, but I enjoy switch hitters. I love switch hitters. We're going to slot him firmly in here into the middle of the C tier, along with this Ohtani. Over all of these home run derby cards are pretty much similar. I think they're all probably C tier guys at the end of the day. Now, the next one is Rafael Ortega. Got a bit of a rough splits on the lefty side of things, but he's not bad overall, all things considered. So we're going to put him into the C tier as well. Now, Laureano absolutely positively cannot hit righties on this card. He has like 49 contact versus right. He does have good fielding. That's about all he has going for him. He's got good power. If you use him as a bench bat on All-Star, he would be good. But for me, he's going to have to slot in here into the E tier. Honestly, maybe even F, but I think there may be a couple worse that we'll run into. Now, this Brian Reynolds, I was actually a really big fan of this. Really good switch hitter. Nice swing, decent contact, the fielding, some speed. Lacks a little bit of power to keep him too high, but I think he's a really firm B tier guy. I've been a big fan of this Brian Reynolds. I love switch hitters. He's a firm piece of my all switch hitter team right now. I am rocking with Brian Reynolds. I like him a lot in the B tier. Now, Billy Hamilton, on the other hand, he's got more power than you would expect. But at the end of the day, he's a defense and steals guy. I almost want to put him in the F tier because everybody who uses him just drag bunts and doesn't actually swing the bat. But I'm going to keep him in the E tier. We'll put Billy right there firmly into the E tier. You know what? Actually, screw it. I'm moving Billy down to the F tier. I can't do it. I'm not the speed steals kind of guy. Scarrett Anderson, not bad when he released, not great at this point in the year. He's going to be E tier for me. Now, this Larry Doby, I think this Larry Doby was a little overlooked. I think it was a lot better than people gave him credit for. Obviously, this point of the year, nobody's really using him. He's going to go into the D tier for me, but you could definitely do worse. Tony Gwynn, on the other hand, I'm sorry, Tony. I hate to do it. I loved you, and MLB 19, but you're going to have to come down here to the F tier in this go around of it. Just can't do the lack of any sort of power. Tony Gwynn cards, they used to be great. He was incredible in 19, just not the meta for him this year. This Randy Arozarena on the tops now. I was a big fan of this. He's a pretty solid all-around card too. I think he's going to work his way into the C tier for me. Really solid all-around hitter. I like him a lot. Same with Aaron Hicks. Again, y'all know I like switch hitters. I'd be tempted to move Hicks into the B tier. I'm not going to be that crazy. I am going to move him into the top end here of the C tier. I like Aaron Hicks cards. His silver is an auto draft for me in BR. I take him every time. Doesn't matter the situation. Next one, we have this Hank Aaron card that came out during Team Infinity 2. He certainly wasn't bad by any stretch of the matter. A lot of people I know don't like his swing. Overall, I liked him pretty much. I mean, he's pretty firm middle of the pack here into the C tier. He's not bad. He's not great. Honestly, him and Willie Mays, really similar cards in terms of both being 94s of guys who are going to get 99s. So honestly, the fact that you're going to get a 99 later on in the year probably hurts him a little bit, because thinking about what they could be later on versus how good they are right now in the moment. Next guy here, Billy Williams. Again, I can't do the no defense. His moments also sucked. Wasn't a fan of those at all. And so because of that, he's going to slot in here just into the D tier. Now, Papa Dante Bichette. I know I say I can't do defense, but Dante Bichette at least has really good value as a bench bat. And so because of that, I'm actually going to put him into the B tier. I'm a fan of this card. I like his swing. He locks down a spot on the bench for me. Because of that, that gives him definitely some more value and puts him into the B tier on my list. Now, this Ohtani is certainly not bad at all, but especially since he has the home run derby Ohtani. This Ohtani is very similar, but just worse. But I know a lot of people like this card. A lot of people use it. For me, though, it is a D tier kind of guy. It's not too great at this point in the game cycle. Now, this Ryan Braun, another guy. Not a whole lot of defense, but he does have really good hitting attributes, especially versus lefties. He's very similar to Dante Bichette. So we're going to put Ryan Braun up here in the B tier as well. I do like Ryan Braun. I'm a big fan of him. He plays pretty well, and his cards always play really good for me. Now, this next guy we're looking at, Jason Dominguez, another guy who maybe at the end we move him up into the S tier as well. We'll have to see who our S tier outfielders are, but for now, we're going to keep him in the A tier along with Byron Buxton. The Buxton and Dominguez combo, they're both really good cards. Jason Dominguez, insane. Probably the best event reward that we've gotten all year. Even as the year goes on, I'd probably take him over pretty much any of the other events that we've gotten. Jason Dominguez, really good switch hitter. He's got the swing, the defense, the power, the speed. He's got everything going on. Now, this next guy here, may not be a lot of people who agree with this one, but all I'm going to say about my man Steve, if you've watched the channel, if you've watched the videos, if y'all keep up with the live streams, link down in the description below. I'm gonna say is, if you know, you know. My man Steve is goated. I'm not gonna go crazy and put him S tier. I want to, out of love for Steve, I want to. We're gonna keep him in the A tier. My man Steve Finley, I know he lacks the contact numbers, but my man's is clutch. He hit like 400 with runners in scoring position for me this year. He's got like 5 walk-offs for me. Lefties, it doesn't matter. I'm a little biased because I have an affection to him with how he's played on my team, but I love Steve. This is my tier list. I'm putting him in the A tier. He's that guy for me. He has been that guy. Now Sean Green, I think I'm gonna put him, sorry Sean, I think I'm gonna put him in the D tier. He just has some pretty rough splits for me. Obviously top end of the D tier, but he's got some rough splits. Doesn't have an incredible fielding. He's got good speed. He has that going for him. He's not bad. He's not terrible, but I just never really enjoyed this card very much. Now this King Griffey Jr., this 96, I love how King Griffey Jr. cards play, so we are going to throw him up in the B tier. Obviously going to be getting a much better card that's going to be a guaranteed S tier at the end of the day. But I like how this 96 Griffey played. He was pretty solid for me all in all throughout the year, and he has really good fielding, so you can hold down an outfield spot. And I do like fielding. I value fielding quite a bit at the end of the day. Now this Will Myers, he's actually really similar to Sean Green, just a little bit slower. I'm gonna put Will Myers down into the E tier. He just doesn't do a whole lot that steps off the page for me. Next guy we're looking at though, Jarren Duran. I actually think he's really solid. Super balanced across the board. Has speed, fielding, hitting, power, a little bit of everything. He's not B tier for me, I don't think quite. I think I take these guys in the B tier above them, but I'm gonna put him upper half of the C tier. You know what? No, you know what? We're doing it. We're putting him in the B tier. I take him over Bichette and Ryan Braun, even though they may have a little bit more power. Duran has some more defense and speed to make up for that. I'm putting him up to in the B tier. I like him a lot. I think he's really solid. Next guy, Lou Brock. Don't need to talk about it. F tier, nothing else to say. On to the next one. Torrey Hunter. I think Torrey Hunter was one of the more underrated cards of Team Affinity 2. I liked him a lot. Gold glove with great defense. I rocked him in the outfield for quite some time. It's not quite A tier for me. He's not on the level of these three, but he's certainly top half, top part of the B tier, almost into A, like a B plus tier, I would say. I like Torrey Hunter a lot. I'm a big fan of him. I really enjoyed his card this year. Next guy we're looking at, Juan Lagares. He's just basic at everything. Doesn't really do anything too crazy, but that's good enough to slot him down here in the bottom half of the C tier. Same with this Soler. He lacks some defense and he doesn't have the contact that guys like Bichette or Ryan Braun have that really propel them up, even though they lack the defense as well. So for me, Soler, I like his swing a lot. I enjoy playing with him. He's going to be a C tier player as well. Next one, we're looking at AJ Pollock. He's not bad either. Pretty balanced across the board. Another guy who nothing really super stands out on him. He's got some good contact and he has really good power numbers versus lefties. So I think that does propel him up a little bit. I almost want to put him into the B tier, and I think we are. We're going to put him down here in the bottom half of the B tier. I like this AJ Pollock a lot. Decent defense, some speed, pretty balanced all around across the board. Now this Stanton, I like this Giancarlo Stanton. I think he was a little disappointing with when he came out, but overall, I think he is a really good outfielder. He's pretty solid. Another guy, can't rank too high because he's probably going to get a 99 at some point, but with where we're at in the game, I would definitely take him over Bichette and Ryan Braun, even though those are pretty similar players. I like Stanton. He's a pretty safe B tier kind of guy. Now this Harrison Bader card, even though he may be a 97 overall, his inability to hit lefties just does hurt me. He has good fielding. This is a tough one. I definitely think there's a lot of guys I'd use above him because they have a little bit worse splits. So I'm gonna put him here in the top end of the D tier, maybe a bottom end C tier kind of guy. I know a lot of people like Harrison Bader. Never really enjoyed using him. The splits hurt me on his front for that. Next guy, we're looking at Michael Brantley. I'm not gonna lie, I'll put him in the F tier. Again, he's a high contact, no power, no speed, no fielding. So I just can't do Michael Brantley. He's not getting the job done for me on that front. Now this Jesse Winker, I was actually surprised how balanced this Jesse Winker was. I think he's pretty solid. I'm gonna put him in the E tier. I think I'd take Shohei on over him from those player of the month cards. They're pretty similar. He is pretty balanced, but I think you can find better overall. Next guy we're looking at, Eric Haas. I think he's a firm C tier guy. He's definitely not bad, probably bottom end of the C tier. He's got pretty decent hitting stats and okay fielding as well, and I like his swing, so because of that, I think he can hold down the C tier. This Vladdy Senior, I think he wasn't bad from when he released, and I think he's going to be a C tier guy as well. He wasn't, I enjoy his cards. He has the good arm as well, which helps him play in the outfield a lot better defensively than a lot of other cards do. Obviously, he has his much better card at this point in the game. Next guy, Kenny Lofton. He's basically Billy Hamilton light. He does have some more contact overall across the board, and he has the speed too. So because of that, I'm going to throw him into the D tier just because he does have a little bit better contact than a guy like Billy Hamilton. And of course, the 99 speed and the defense and all that. People love to bunt. Maybe if bunting was a bit more balanced, I'd view him a little bit more fondly. I'm definitely would rather rock with some guys that have some power versus Kenny Lofton. Next one, this Clemente. Was not a fan of this Clemente at all. Didn't like the 93. Almost want to put him in the F tier, but I think I take him above. I don't know. You know what? I think he's going to be an F tier guy. I just did not enjoy this Clemente at all. Next one, Lou Brock. This card does have a little bit more power than his other postseason one. I think he's better than Kenny Lofton as well. You know, I'm going to throw Lou Brock pretty firmly here into the C tier. I think this one's not too bad at all. Obviously, has the speed and the defense. It also has a little bit of power that makes him a bit more viable overall. You could probably make an argument for him being in the B tier too. Not a really bad card. You would think that kind of style of card usually would not play well, but I like this Lou Brock overall. Now the Cespedes, of course, gonna absolutely demolish the ball. Because of that, we are gonna put him up here into the B tier. He's pretty similar to our Stanton, Bichette, Ryan Braun conglomerate that we have going on here in the B tier. I like these guys. I play well with these types of cards. Only thing that keeps them from being higher up, the lack of defense, generally speaking. Nelson Cruz, another guy. He fits right into this mold. I like Nelson Cruz. He holds down a spot on my bench really firmly. That helps him provide some value to me on that front. Obviously, you're not using him into the field. We're going to throw him down here at the bottom end of the B tier. His lack of fielding absolutely destroys him. Now, my man Adolis, I'm a Rangers fan, and I'm biased. Not afraid to admit it. My man Adolis, he's not A tier. He's certainly not A tier, but we're putting him in the top end here of the B tier. I like Adolis a lot. He's got a good swing, can hit both sides of the plate. He does lack a little bit on the defensive end. That's what keeps him from being A tier, but I really enjoy using his card overall. Next one, this Cedric Mullins. For me, the Cedric Mullins, pretty mid bad, but I think we're gonna throw him down here into the D tier. I think he could be better overall. He's not incredible, he's not bad. I'd take these C tier guys over the Cedric Mullins for the most part. Next one, Teoscar. I know a lot of people love this Teoscar. For whatever reason, I couldn't hit a lick with him. I don't know what it was. His attributes aren't great. On paper, he's an incredible card. I just could not hit with him. But we're gonna throw him into the very bottom part of the B tier. I just could not use him. He just wasn't good for me for whatever reason. Now, next guy, Austin Martin. He's certainly not bad by any stretch of the matter, but I think he's just firmly okay. These other guys, he's not great at anything. I think these other guys in the B tier have something that helps them stand out above a guy like Austin Martin. Certainly not bad. Got good contact, lacks some power versus righties, has some speed and some defense, but just nothing that really helps him stand out, in my opinion. Now, there's Grady Sizemore. Kind of a similar card to Austin Martin in a way. Some defense and speed, some okay power. Can't hit lefties very well. Sorry to my man Fuzzy out there, but I'm gonna have to put Grady here into the C tier. It's gonna be top end of the C tier, like a C plus tier. Maybe sneaking into the B tier type of play. The splits on him just hurt me just a little bit and keeps me from putting him too high. Now, this Juan Soto home run derby, I feel like everything that he touches is a home run. He lacks a little bit on the contact side, but everything this guy touches has been a home run for me when I've used him. We're putting him here into our power hitter group of B tier players that we got going on. Now, Chris Taylor, I like Chris Taylor a lot. I've been a big fan of Chris Taylor. I hit the ball super well with him. He can play like a million positions, has speed, defense, and hitting. We're going to do it. Chris Taylor is going to come up here into the A tier of outfielders. I think if you haven't used this Taylor before, I would recommend giving him a shot for sure. I think he's a really, really good. Next guy we're looking at, Castellanos. I almost want to put Castellanos in the A tier too because I've enjoyed him, but I enjoy him more as a first baseman than an outfielder. So because of that, we're going to throw him down here into the top part of the B tier. I enjoy Castellanos a ton. His defense keeps me from using him in left field or right field. I think he's probably a little bit more suited for a first base kind of position, which does hurt his value, but I fit really, really good with him. He's got an awesome mix of super high contact with 100 plus power that helps the ball just fly off of his bat. Next guy we're looking at here, Aaron Judge, and this one may be a little spicy, but I absolutely love this Aaron Judge card. He's destroyed the ball for me. He has good fielding. I usually am not great with Aaron Judge with the big leg kick, the taller players, the big strike zones. I don't know what it is, but this year I've destroyed the ball with this Aaron Judge. We're doing it. We're putting him in the S tier. That's how much I really, really enjoy using this Aaron Judge. The ball just flies off the bat for me. We're throwing him up in there. A lot of people I know don't like Aaron Judge, but he's been incredible for me. We may end up moving some things around at the end, but I think for now, Judge is going to be the first guy in our S tier list. Next guy we're looking at here, David Justice. Obviously can destroy the ball. Unfortunately, not much fielding, but he does destroy the ball, and he probably hits the ball better than some of our other guys here. So we're going to put him top half of the B tier. And he's a really, really solid overall, especially on the offensive side of things. Next one, we got Yordan Alvarez. We used just a couple of these 42 guys that I know a lot of people love and use. And honestly, I still like Yordan Alvarez a lot. He's going to be in the C tier for me. We're going to do it. We're going to throw him up here into the C tier. He was my go-to lefty bench bat for the longest time. I was a really, really big fan of him. I was just starting out. I would use him on my squad right now with no issues at all in the slightest. Same with this Dom Smith. I did enjoy him, not quite as much as Yordan Alvarez. So we're going to go top half here of the D tier. Really, really big fan of his cards. Now, the next guy we're looking at, Andrew McCutchen. I love Andrew McCutchen cards. I'm a big fan of his swing. I'm a big fan of how he plays. McCutchen MVP from like 17 is still probably one of my favorite cards in Diamond Dynasty history. I don't know if I can quite put him up into the S tier, but I'm gonna slot him in here second position here in the A tier of cards. I love McCutchen. I'm a huge fan of him and how his cards play. Next one we'll work with here, Mitch Haniger. He's certainly not bad. He's not crazy. Doesn't really jump off the page. Pretty firm C tier guy because he can hit the ball pretty well. Now, Cedric Mullins. I know a lot of people love Cedric Mullins. This may be a little blasphemous. For me, I don't know if I can get over the lack of defense on the card because I really like good defenders. I'm taking over Castellanos, but he's going to be in the B tier. He's going to be top end, like a B plus, A minus type of sitch. But I think I'm taking these outfielders over him at the end of the day, except for maybe Steve Finley. But Steve Finley's there just as that's a thank you to my man Steve holding it down. Next guy we're looking at, Kyle Schwarber, an S tier catcher. I'm not great with him overall, but even as an outfielder, he doesn't have bad defense. I would put him at an A tier for the outfield because he can still absolutely destroy the ball. Obviously S tier as a catcher at the end of the day, but A tier as an outfielder, pretty confident in that, even though I haven't been great with Schwarber overall. Now, Bryce Harper. I love this Bryce Harper a ton. I like Bryce Harper cards. For me, he's going to be slotting up here into the S tier. He's a strong lefty bat. Lefty bats are kind of tough to come by right now too, so I like Bryce Harper a ton, especially with the righty pitcher meta that we have with all those righties that are just dominating everybody. Harper's going into my S tier pretty confidently about that. Ralph Kiner, a guy, he's going to come in here to our B tier. He's going to come in on the bottom end of our hitters who can't play defense kind of conglomerate that we almost have going, of guys who I like their bat enough to put them up in here, but just not enough to be A tier level guys. Mookie Betts doesn't even need to be talked about. S tier, maybe the firmest S tier we have. He's incredible. I know he was hard to get. He's getting a lot easier to get, that's for sure. And he is absolutely incredible. One of the best outfielders in the game. Probably an S tier not probably, is an S tier second baseman as well. No other place to put Mookie but that S tier at the end of the day. Soriano, I love Soriano at the start of the year. He was great for me. I think I got a little complacent, maybe bored with Soriano and started struggling, but I still think he's an A tier guy. I'm gonna move him ahead here of Andrew McCutchen too. I'm gonna put Buxton over Soriano, but I like Soriano a lot. Incredible at the start of the year. His swing never bothered me too much either. I was a big fan of him early on. Not too many more guys we're going through now. We're getting down to the bottom end of it. Larry Walker. Larry Walker is also going to be A tier for me again in this righty pitcher meta. I love Larry Walker. I think his 6 series last year was a little bit better. I wish Larry's was slightly better versus lefties, but I'm a huge fan of Larry. He's going to slide in here firmly into the A tier for me. Larry Walker's been great for me since I've been using him. I've been a big fan. Haven't regretted picking him up for 1 second. Next guy we're looking at, Vladdy Sr. Vladdy Sr. is that dude. Absolutely, positively that guy. I think of these 4, I'm putting him towards the bottom. You know, we're going to move Aaron Judge down to the bottom of the S tier. I like Vladdy he's an S tier guy. He's got the cannon. He can hit the ball, absolutely destroy it. I like Vladdy Sr. a ton. Real big fan. Next guy, we're looking at the Acuna, his live series Acuna card. It's solid. It's not bad. Unfortunately, with being injured, he doesn't get those inside edge boosts, which does hurt him quite a bit. I'm gonna put him firmly here into the C tier, middle of the C tier type of road kind of guy. Now we have Mike Trout. I love Mike Trout. He's absolutely incredible. That being said, there's been some times for me when Trout's been mad sus. We're talking perfect fly outs to center field on fly balls, not line drives. We're talking full fly ball status as I dropped him there. He's been a little sus for me at times. And I think that keeps me from putting him in the S tier, but we're going to put him very top of the A tier here. Trout's incredible. I love him. He's great. His 99 is going to be the best outfielder in the game, most likely. But I don't know if I can go S tier status with Trout just at this time. I even said I thought Trout was the best version of Trout we've gotten ever, including his MVP last year, was this live series one. But something changed for me, and I went from batting like 400 with him to under 300. He's hit a little bit better for me since, but especially with the crowded outfield, he's kind of found his way out of the starting lineup. Now, the Stan Musial, I think this Stan Musial is great. He does lack some defense, especially compared to these other A-tier guys. He does lack defense, but he is an incredible hitter. But he doesn't have the speed or defense, I think, to put him in the A-tier for me. Maybe disrespectful to Stan. I'm not gonna lie, slightly disrespectful possibly, but he's gonna be like a high B+ tier. I just wish he had a little bit more defense on him for me to move him up into that top end. Now, the stops out Joe Adell that we just got recently, it's actually really good. I'm a huge fan. I don't know, I'm not put him into the A tier, but we're gonna put him like top half here of the B tier. Very upper end B tier player. This Joe Adell, if you're starting out, as an incredible free card. This Brett Phillips, not bad either. A little bit worse splits. So we're going to put him bottom half here of the B tier. I like Brett Phillips, though. I've used him quite a bit in BR and a couple BR runs now, and he's been really solid for me. All right, we got 2 left now. We got this Acuna and the Clemente. Acuna for me, I was not very good with this Acuna, but I think that was straight user error status. He's going to be an A tier guy for me, so he's going to lock down this 3rd spot here in the A tier behind Trout and Buxton. I think I'd use both of those over Acuna. Buxton just destroys the ball for me. I need to give Acuna some more shots, some more opportunities in the lineup. Maybe as we shift to a little bit more of a lefty meta. I think the righty meta hurts a guy like Acuna quite a bit, as he does lack that little bit of contact versus righties. And then the last guy we got here in this tier list is that new 6 series 99 Clemente. Unfortunately for me, I'm not gonna lie, this may be user error, but I got a better OPS with Jacob deGrom than I do with this Roberto Clemente right now. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the lack of power or what. It's crazy because as similar as he is statistically to Jackie Robinson, I love Jackie Robinson. Maybe one of my favorite players in the entire game. Jackie Robinson to me is an S tier outfielder 100%. But Clemente, I don't know if he quite does that. We're going to slot him in here behind Acuna here in the A tier of guys. And that is our final ranking. These last cards that we have, pretty essentially all irrelevant cards that nobody's using really anymore at the end of the day, that don't really have much of a place in the game. These were the cards that we went through and ranked our F tier, E tier. You can see we have that nice distribution. Maybe a couple too many cards here in the B tier, but maybe have a couple more into the C tier, or move a couple guys from D tier into C tier too. But overall, really like what we got. Our S tier guys are Mookie, Price, Vladdy, Daddy, and Judge. Kind of want to move Trout and Buxton up into the S tier. Can we have 5 S tier outfielders? Is that too many? You know what? We're doing it. We're doing it. I love Buxton. I would use Buxton right now. He's incredible for me. I love him so much. We're gonna move him up into the S tier. We're doing it, especially paralleled up. I got a parallel 4 right now. I know that not everybody's gonna have that, but I love Buxton. We're gonna rock 6 S tier guys. That's a little overkill, but we're doing it. Trey Turner, of course, would be one as well if he was an outfielder. That's our final list: the S tier, the A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, E tier, and F tier. That is who we're rocking with here on our list. So that does do it for our outfielder tier list. Of course, part of this video I'm looking forward to the most. Where did I screw up? Where did I go right? Where did I go wrong? Let me know down in the comment section below. Let's discuss it. Let's chat it. Which one of my rankings made you think, wow, this guy's an absolute idiot, has no idea what he's talking about at all in the slightest? Let me know down in the comment section below. Let's have a chat. Let's talk about it. Who are your underrated gems that I'm overlooking here in this tier list? If you enjoyed the video again and y'all want to see more tier lists, y'all want to see some more of these here on the channel, show some love on this video. Let me know down in the comment section that you want to see some more of these. Y'all show the love on this video. Y'all kill it. We'll definitely put some more out there if it's something y'all are wanting to see. Until next time, though, I'll catch y'all around.